When a man makes love to a woman he feels sorry for, she just might make him feel even sorrier. In simulated therapy, Dr. Ruth talks with a man who's trapped by his own good intentions.
Hal, what's troubling you?
Well, basically the problem is that this girl I know casually around the office, say hi to each other around the water cooler, basically, and she's kind of taken it upon herself to rebound off of another guy right into my lap, and I can't...
Hold it. Wait. Tell me that a little bit slower.
Okay, all right.
She jumped from somebody else's lap right into your lap?
No.
Okay, you meet her from time to time at the water cooler.
Right.
Okay.
It's a very casual relationship. Her name is Kathy, okay?
Yes.
Basically, it started out, I said hi to her one day, and she burst into tears. And I said, well, Kathy, what's the matter? And she told me basically that her boyfriend had broken up with her for another girl. He'd gone on to someone else. So she was really upset, and we're all right, pretty good friends.
Right.
And so I invited her out, to have a couple of drinks and just talk the situation over. One thing led to another, and before long, we ended up back at my place.
That same night?
Right. We spent the night together, and, it was okay. It was good for the one night, as far as I was concerned. I wanted to be more of a comfort to her, is basically what I was after.
You wanted to be more of a comfort for her, but also a comfort in bed. Okay,
right.
I understand. You had a few drinks. Okay.
Right.
So what's happening right now?
Well, no,
You didn't force her to come to you into
no.
your apartments, but you made the suggestion and she went. Or did she suggest, let's go to your place?
Well, I guess it was sort of mutual. We had a few drinks. And
so you don't even...
Yeah, it sort of got lost in the haze.
Okay.
But the basic thing was we ended up back there, and since then, it's like I can't get rid of her. I mean, she's more or less become obsessed with me. She's rebounded from this other guy to me.
I see what you mean now. So right now, the other guy's out of the picture. So you are, do I understand correctly, Hal, you are not interested in her?
Well, I mean, I want to be friends with her and everything. I mean, I'm not...
You don't want to be her lover?
No, because I've met someone else in the meantime.
Also at the water cooler?
No.
Okay.
Another kind of watering hole.
Look, I'm not surprised. You're a good-looking young man. Okay, you are right now interested in another woman.
Right.
So what is happening?
Well, this is how the plot thickens here. I gave this other girl my phone number because, I want her to give me a call sometime, and it turns out that the one night she called me, Kathy happened to be over at my place.
In your bed?
No, just at my place.
Just in your bed. Okay, I just wanted to be sure where we stand. Okay.
She came over on the pretext of giving me some files for work.
Yes.
No, it turned out to be more than that, because when the phone rang, Kathy answered it, and I was around the corner. I heard her answer the phone, and it was this other girl that I'd given my number to, and it turns out that Kathy told this girl that she was my wife and not to bother me at home.
Ooh.
I mean...
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, right. This is like... It blew me out of the water.
Okay. Did you say something to her? Did you say...
Yeah. I said, this is it. This relationship is over. I'm sorry it got as far as it did. I don't want to hurt you.
That.
Right.
That you don't want to hurt her, but it's over, and that you're interested in the other woman.
Right.
Okay. What is Kathy doing these days? You're still in the same office?
Pretty much, yes. We're still in the same office.
What happens these days?
Well, it's pretty much the same problem. She still sends me memos. She calls me at work. Now, I found a couple of nights ago, I came home after being out for the night. I came home 11:30 midnight. She's in her car out in front of my house waiting for me.
Wow.
She calls me up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's just becoming obsessed with me. Now, I didn't want to, fall into the same trap that she was in before, in that being the kind of guy who would dump her like her previous boyfriend did. I don't want her to think that all guys do this.
Okay.
All I wanted to be was a source of comfort for her, but now I just can't seem to get rid of her.
All right.
She's obsessed.
Okay. Is that why you came to see me? Somebody suggested?
Yes, a friend of mine suggested that I seek out some professional therapy.
Okay, Hal. First of all, take a deep breath. It doesn't mean that you have to see me for a long period of time. Listen to me very carefully. Okay. Maybe we can do that in one time. You are not a Red Cross nurse. I don't approve, if you ask my opinion, that's why you're sitting here, I don't approve of one-night stands, because if you had not gone to bed with her that one night, you most probably would have found out, if you had had a few more dinners without drinks, you would have found out that Kathy is that type of girl who right now is going to cling to somebody. So that's one thing, but it happened and let's now see. I do believe that you have to be very firm, very serious, not nasty. I understand. You're not a nasty guy. You don't want to say to her, you terrible thing. But I do believe that you have to be very firm by telling her that you are interested, saying it again, that you are interested in the other woman, that you're going dating very seriously, and that if she does not discontinue this kind of behavior, that you will have to call the police. That you will have, I don't want you to do it,
Yeah.
but I want you to say it with a serious face, that you are going to have to go to the police and say that something has to be done because she harasses you.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you something else. Hal, are you worried? Is she very unstable at work also?
Yeah, I wanted to get to this next. Basically, it seems that the more I've tried to put her off at work or when she calls at all hours, that, you know, I try to tell her not to do it anymore, but then I get the impression she might do something
Okay,
to
that's,
herself.
hold it. Let me take back what I just said. You have to talk to one of the supervisors at work.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Because that responsibility you don't want. And hopefully that the supervisor, and it's all right to confide in somebody. There's not a crime to confide. And hopefully that the supervisor will say that Kathy needs a social worker. Kathy needs somebody to talk to. Because this is a situation that's not possible. Also, what I do think is that you should change your telephone number today. Call the telephone company and may have an unlisted number. That's already one step. But instead of calling the police, now what you told me afterwards about her, take those feelings seriously, that you think that she might do something to herself. Talk to a supervisor. I am going to give you another appointment for next week to see what you did. If you need me before, give me a call right here at the office.